In this video, we're going to take a look at right triangle trig with sine, cosine, and tangent. Now, we spent some time labeling sides, right? We labeled the O side, the H side, the A side. So here's a triangle where we've labeled the O, H, and A sides. Now, we did that for a reason. There are three different trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions. So we'll just say trig functions. How about that? That way I don't mess it up. All right. The first one is called sine. It's spelled S-I-N-E, just like this here at the top. Okay, but we abbreviate it to S-I-N. Some people call it sin, but technically we should call it sine. Now notice sine of the angle. Notice X is the angle we're talking about because it's right here. Okay, it doesn't have anything in it, but that tells me I'm dealing with X. So my H side is opposite my 90, my O side is opposite X, and then my A side is the one left over. Okay, now sine is a function that talks about a ratio. It talks about the opposite side over the hypotenuse side. So what we're going to do today is we're going to label the sides, and then we're going to set up the sine, cosine, and tangent. Now, they each have a different relationship. Sine has the opposite side over the hypotenuse side. Okay? Cosine has the adjacent side over hypotenuse. This is our second one, cosine. So notice sine is in here, so we've got a similar thing, but it's cosine. Or cos is what some people call it. Cosine of x, or cos, whichever one. Okay, cos of x is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now all we're going to do is we're going to set up the A side over the H side. And the last one is tangent. Okay, so we've got sine, cosine, tangent. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now notice x is my angle here. It's the O side over the A side. Now, there's an easy way to remember this, and we do it by something called Sohcahtoa. Okay, so Sohcahtoa is sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now we're going to use that to help us set up our problems. Okay, so let's actually just put that Sohcahtoa. I'm going to put that right here, just help us remember what's going on. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to label our sides. Actually, first thing we should do is identify which angle we're talking about. Notice we're talking about angle D, okay? So now let's label our sides. The hypotenuse is opposite the 90 degrees. This is the angle I'm talking about, so that's my O side, and that's my A side, all right? Now I need to set up sine, cosine, and tangent. So far we've done nothing new, okay? This has all been reviewed. This is the new stuff, and it's not hard. Sine is O over H. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one with the O and the one with the H and put the O one over the H one. So I'm going to go 12 over 13. Now cosine is A over H, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 over 13. And then tangent is O over A. So I'm going to do 12 over 5, just like that. All right, and that's all we're doing. We're going to circle our angle, label our sides, and then set up our ratios. That's as far as we're going to go today. All right, so let's do another one with K. So that's my angle here. So this is my H side. Remember, the H side isn't always the slanty one. It just is the one opposite the 90. This one is my O side. And this one's my A side. All right? And then let's go ahead. Let's bring Sohcahtoa back. This would be a good thing to have in your notes. So sine is the O over the H, so 24 over 25. The cosine is the A over the H, 7 over 25. And tangent is O over A, 24 over 7. All right, let's look at a couple of these where we just have to do one. Notice this one just wants me to do sine. So I'm doing sine of I. This is my H side. This is, because opposite my 90, my angle opposite. That's O, that's A. Sine is O over H. And so if I'm just doing sine, all I need to do is 8 over 17, and I'm done. Let's look at two more. Cosine of G. So here's my H side. Here's my angle, right? So that makes this my O side. This is H because it's opposite the 90. It's my A side. Cosine, if I remember, is A over H. So it is 4 over 5. All right, last one here. Tangent of C. So I'm dealing with this angle C here. There's my H side. This one over here is my O side. That's my A side. Now I get 5 over 12 because it's O over A. So on your assignment, it's a delta math assignment. Now the delta math assignment means you makes you get you have to get 10 in a row correct. Now there's a time limit on it. Now you have 500 seconds, so that's a ton of time. That's like 8 minutes. Okay, you have over 8 minutes to do it. So, and anytime you have to start over, it starts the time over. So the time is not something to really worry about. But if you want to prove to me how fast you can do it, you can do it as quickly as possible, getting 10 in a row right. I can tell you that in my other classes, the 5th best student was at 47 seconds. They did 10 in a row in 47 seconds. That was 5th best, and my fastest student did it in just over 30 seconds. Now, you don't have to go for the best time ever. That's fine. If you can just get 10 in a row, that's fine. But if you want to take a few extra minutes and see if you can get faster than 30-something seconds, let me know, and I'll take a look.